Hey guys, and welcome back, and today in this video we're going to take a look inside both of my Jecod Sow-8 Wave pumps.
1, 2, 3, 4!
So this is a job that needs doing every, well, it depends on a lot of things. Depends on how dirty your tank is, how high you're running your wave pumps, what kind of wave pumps you got. But for these ones and my tank, I like to clean them out in about 3 months, which is what you should clean them out with most pumps. But these are a little bit overdue. They've been pushing just over 4 months now. They haven't been cleaned, so there's probably going to be quite a lot of muck inside them. It doesn't take that long with these ones. It's literally, there's only three or four different parts to it. You just open them up. It takes about 3 or 4 minutes per wave pump, and I've only got 2 of them, so about 10 minutes. And I get about 5 or 6 litre bucket of RO water or salt water, whichever one's, but both will work fine. So I'm going to show you one of them here, and then I'll do the other one off camera. So the first component here is the little clamp that clamps the wave pump itself to the glass. So we want to take that off. You don't really have to clean it. I gave it a bit of a brush up anyway because there was a bit of a slime kind of creating at the back of it. So I gave it a little bit of a brush up. Not essential, but you can if you want to. So this is the first bit. So there's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's 4 different parts to this wave pump. Really simple. The next part is the cage, the first half of the cage. You twist it off and then it kind of just pulls off. It can be a bit stiff, especially if you've got coralline on it. It depends how long you wait until you clean it. It's been at least 4 months, so quite a lot of coralline and algae has kind of not fused it together, but kind of molded it quite shut and sealed. Okay, so here we are attempting to twist the shell off. I think that's come off now. And you just give that a bit of a clean up. Again, not essential, but a little bit of algae does build up, and there was a little bit of hair on there still, just a tiny little bit that I want to just brush off. So this is it. That's the second part of the shell. Just want to brush that off as much as you can, and with the brush you can use pretty much any brush. It doesn't have to be some anything high quality, or you could even just use your fingers just to rub all the muck off it. It's pretty straightforward. I just used a simple brush that actually came with the tank. Now we are left with the final 2 parts, which is the most important actually. So this is the most important bit here, the impeller. There was a bit of algae on the actual impeller itself, and then there's the black part of it, or the grey part of it, which is where all the muck builds up, and you want to really scrub that up, make sure it's as clean as you can get it. Alright, so that's the impeller there, so that looks pretty much brand new. That's as clean as I could get it. All the algae came off of it pretty easily actually. I only brushed that for about just a couple minutes. And then you got in there, that's a very important bit as well. That can build up a lot in there. and it's a bit slimy around the edge as well, so you want to give that a really big brush up. That's probably the second most important bit. So I have counted correctly, there is 4 parts. You've got the cage, you've got the clamp, and then you've got the impeller, and then you've got the motor, which is what I'm brushing up here. Alright, so I think everything's about clean, and to get it back together it's a lot easier than pulling apart actually, because everything's clean. All the bits that I put on the towel on the floor there are all dry, so it's kind of easy to put things back together. So that just slides in there with a biomagnet, and then you've got the cage that kind of just slides on. Well, you slide it on and then you twist it a little bit, and then it clamps in place. And then you've got the clamp. This is difficult, the clamp, because it's got to like stretch out a tiny, just a few millimeters, and then clamp onto these 2 tabs on the side of the pump, and it's very stiff. It has barely any give to it, and you don't want to snap it as well. So it's quite difficult. It took me just about 2 or 3 minutes just to try and get the clamp on itself. So a bit difficult, but once it's on, it's on. It's not going anywhere. And I think that's about the whole wave pump put back together. So that took about it takes in between 5 and 10 minutes to get these Jecod ones apart. Obviously it's going to vary depending on what wave pump you got. Some are more difficult than other ones, especially the Red Sea ones and the Max Spec Gyres. They seem to be very difficult to get apart, but these Jecods are probably the easiest I've ever seen. And they're really cheap as well. This one cost me, I think it was £75, and then they do the largest one, which is £100, and it's 50. Well, these ones are 8,500 litres an hour each for £80. I think it's under that actually. It might be 70 or 75. So really cheap considering the pump. Well, they're the cheapest pumps you can get. Usually for pumps you spend in between £200 to £300. You know, the Ecotech ones, the AI Neurons, they're really expensive as well. All the Red Sea ones, they're really expensive, but these ones are really cheap. They are reliable as well. They do last well, probably get maximum 2 years out of them, and I'd probably recommend you switch them out after that period of time. So these have been running for just over a year now. Yeah, about that. Well, one's a year, one's about 8-9 months. So if I was to switch them out, I'd probably go for Jecods again, because they're so cheap and they do last quite a long time, and they're all controllable. You see at the top of the tank there, you have loads and loads of different modes to choose from pulsing, continuous, loads of ramping speeds, loads of different. The only thing with them is you can't have them on a schedule. That's the only thing. But for a cheap price, I don't expect them to be high tech, but they are they're really good considering the price and everything. So I'm going to leave this video here, just a basic one, but I do have a big update, tank update for next week planned. So I'll see you in a week's time. Thank you for watching this video, and yeah, I will see you in the next 7 days. Bye.